Here's another podcast from the Pod Bros Network.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Jean-Pod Van Damme Cast. It is Jeff and John in studio in beautiful Wyandotte, Michigan. They said it was going to snow this weekend, believe it or not, in April. Luckily they were liars. They were fools.
Meteorologists are not to be trusted.
That's right, they're not. We are back, and we are reviewing, finally, We Die Young, a 2019 rated R. Rated R.
Welcome to Scooby-Doo, That's pretty good.
Rated R, 1 hour and 32-minute drama.
Yeah, I'd call it a drama.
It was
very dramatic.
Yep. Lucas, a 14-year-old boy inducted into the gang life in Washington, D.C., is determined that his 10-year-old brother won't follow the same path. When an Afghanistan war veteran comes into the neighborhood, an opportunity arises. I thought his brother was like 6 years old.
Yeah. He acted like it.
Yeah, man.
They were watching a goddamn puppet show.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
Are those big in Washington? In the Washington, D.C. area?
I will say, like, in some big inner city, like, areas, where, like, in Chicago, for instance, like the Michigan Mile and that area, like, right in the heart of the city. I think New York, there are, like, you know, a lot of side street performers or what are street performers.
I know that you're allowed to panhandle in Chicago, aren't you?
Yeah. You have to. I think you have to have a permit.
That's crazy.
You legitimately have to have a permit.
Well, that place has got an entertainment tax. So.
Yeah, and I've seen those, like a dude basically being a puppet show, like a walking. He just.
I've seen that. I saw something similar when I was in Chicago.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was.
He stole my wallet.
Exactly.
That's
how
my
they
heart.
get you. That's how they get you. Chicago. Here we go. Jean-Claude Van Damme plays Daniel. David Castellaneta plays Rincon. Rincon?
I think they just called him Rincon.
I heard his buddy called him Rink.
Yeah.
Rincon?
I don't know what a Rincon is.
We're
gonna really white it up during this one.
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm Van Damme with this. Elijah Rodriguez played Lucas.
We should probably just talk through our phones throughout this entire review, like Jean-Claude.
Yes, that's a smart idea. Nicholas Sean Johnny played Miguel. Charlie McGutcheon played Jester.
Jester was. I actually probably thought he was one of the better actors in the movie.
He was, man. And I mean, take a look at him. He doesn't even look like. That's what his IMDb.
Oh, he doesn't have face tattoos.
Nope, not at all. Surprisingly, since this movie was full of them. Joanna Matrash played Anna.
Which one was Anna?
I think that was the almost love interest to Van Damme.
Yeah. Okay.
And just, you know, there's a few others. Oh, wow. Uriel Emil played Spider. Take a look at him. That does not look like Spider.
Holy crap. Yeah, he looked skeezy as fuck in this movie. He did a
great job of looking skeezy as fuck. It's just crazy, like
movie magic.
I know, man. Just the way that people look like with face tattoos and all that.
It's weird. It's like you're like, wow, they're probably involved with some prison gang activity.
You know, yeah. You're thinking, you're like, oh, that's really great. He got himself out, and now he's doing good for himself.
Like, yeah, wow, look at all these Danny Trejos.
Yep, exactly. Director was Leor Geller. Writers, Leor Geller, and others. Apparently, it was a story before. So, there is a tagline: "Every life is worth saving."
Oh, that's a good tagline for the movie, I would say.
Yeah, right.
It actually fits very well.
It does. Unfortunately, my notes don't fit because Google or whatever, really screwed me over. So we lost my notes. But we both just watched this movie today.
Yeah,
so
more like Boogle, am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. I have a strained relationship with Google. Let's just put it that way.
I use Bing for porn now, so.
Yeah.
So Google's left sleeping on the couch in this relationship.
Yep. Right? I don't blame you. I have to say, Google's not been like Amazon with us in our partnership. You can just head on over to podbros.com, click that right button right on the side there, and that takes you to Amazon using our link. It doesn't cost you anything, but helps us out in the long run. Also, we have a great partnership with TeePublic. That's te.pub/lic/podbros.
They're fantastic.
They are, man.
Like shirts for anything you can imagine.
Seriously. A lot of skating the thin line of parody and just getting out of it with copyright and trademark violations.
So hurry up and buy those T-shirts.
Yeah, please, before they get taken down. No, they do a good job of people skirting the line with things.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
So if you want, you can pay less for these non-licensed T-shirts, but people will definitely know what they're referencing.
Yeah, right. They are the Halloween costume. I don't want a license sort of thing. Not talking bad on TeePublic. I'm talking like on creators for TeePublic.
Mm-hmm.
People really skirt some of these things. Skirt. Smash that like button.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
We also have Patreon, patreon.com/podbros. We have the Jean Pod Van Damcast tier there. Super secret episode for only $1. It can be yours.
With more goodies coming.
Yeah, seriously. And be on the lookout for our Rage in the Cage cast.
Hell yeah.
And Every Day I'm Rustling. That's, I'm cleaning them up. Let's just put it that way. We have a decent library out, ready to go, I should say. There's just the little extra things that I'm doing now to make sure everything's okay. And
getting rid of all the hate speech.
Yep, exactly.
It's the hardest part of any podcast, really.
Definitely. Also, trying to get those copyright violations removed with Nick Cage screaming Purple Rain. So,
that man is not afraid to die with honor.
Oh, seriously, man. He is not.
What a prince.
He is. Just like Van Damme is our king.
Yes. And Kurt Russell is our...
queen.
Yes. The royal family.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we die young. Gosh, I'm kind of bummed I don't have my notes, but for the most part, what a...
Bleak?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Heavy-handed?
I did not expect...
Sad?
Even with the... Yeah, keep going, man.
Unhappy with the conditions in the United States of America towards the treatment of immigrants and veterans?
That is probably the biggest takeaway from this film, right? It's tough. You're in Washington, D.C. They over-exaggerate it, obviously.
I mean, Washington, D.C. does have a crime problem.
Oh, big time.
It's the PCP capital of the world.
Yeah, man.
Which is scary as fuck.
Yeah, right.
It was probably an overblown documentary as well, but I watched a documentary about those videos of people like running around naked with like their stomach cut open and their intestines hanging out. And they're like,
man.
You guts is hanging out. Like I give a fuck. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, man. You get a lot of the...
You need to keep them away from the Smithsonian. Yeah.
Yeah, Washington, D.C. has its problems. That's definitely true. I think at one point recently, not too long ago, it was kind of in the top 10 cities for most
they had
didn't
they have a mayor that smoked crack? Or was it D.C.?
Yeah, I know Toronto had a mayor that smoked.
Yeah, I know him.
But
and his brother's still involved heavily in politics. Yeah.
And then this one, it deals with that, with PTSD.
Falling through the cracks of the system.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Failing education. I mean, just you name it. Every inner city problem that you could imagine, especially if you're an immigrant, is really rolled up into one in this. And like, I don't know. Yeah.
I was expecting something different when we watched
I had
this.
no idea what it was about. I came in totally blind.
I watched the trailer for it, and it just totally, like, the trailer made it seem like it's a different movie.
Yeah, a classic.
It made it seem like Van Damme was in this a lot more. Like,
this is a...
It was a back and forth. It was like it's telling the two different stories.
Yeah.
And they finally
it was like
met
50% of the film featured Van Damme.
Yeah.
And 50% featured that kid who was arguably not a very good actor.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I mean
I thought his little brother was a better actor than he was.
Yeah, Lucas wasn't the best actor, and it really kind of
the chubby kid was probably my favorite.
Oh yeah,
character.
Chavana. He was. I want to be a gang member. Yeah, man. They're gonna
Hey,
jump me in.
gordito.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot. There was just seeing his brother, and his brother was way too clean cut.
Yeah.
Really, I think that might have been what threw me off. Lucas was just so clean cut that it's like he does not seem like he's a drug runner. He does not, whatever he's doing, it just does not seem like it's him. Where everyone else, like you said, there's face tattoos.
Literally covered
Everyone
in
has
tattoos.
face
Yeah.
tattoos.
Every other person in the movie,
Yeah.
except for like the shopkeeper and the like 4 women in the entire film.
Yeah, right.
Everyone else was like a crazy gangbanger. It was like watching, something out of Grand Theft Auto or something. It was just,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. There are neighborhoods like that.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I was saying to you off air that I was reading some of the Amazon reviews and people like actually living in the area, like where they really didn't like this movie because they're like, well,
because they make it look like a hellhole.
yeah, they're like, it's not as bad as you guys make it seem, and they're like, that's not how it was at all. around here.
I would say, it does come off as seeming like sensationalism.
Yeah, right.
But it's a movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's a movie, and
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yep.
And some tequila and a slice of limon.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So Rincon is the top dog there, and all the meanwhile, he's having this wedding for his sister because he wants his sister to basically be out of this area because she's sweet and he's taking care of her.
And it's going to go well from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly, man. They're from El Salvador. Their parents died. His
Mother was
brother
raped
died.
and murdered by coyotes.
Yeah.
Not the animal coyote.
No, yeah, the others. And it was just absolutely crazy. And then, you have Lucas who's trying to make sure that his brother Miguel doesn't get involved in this. And then he finds out that Miguel is involved and he gets pissed and he throws Miguel into the classroom and tells the teacher, make sure he doesn't leave. And then he leaves. And I don't know, man. So Rincon trusts Lucas to take 2 bricks of heroin across the tracks and make a special delivery.
Yeah, that really it didn't make sense to me. I mean, I guess he trusted this 14-year-old as like his right-hand man that's next in succession.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which is weird. I'm like, really? You don't, out of this entire group of people, you don't have any adults that you could trust to make
yeah,
like, well, we got the feds watching.
That
us.
was it. Yeah, right. We got the feds.
You couldn't pick some sort of plainclothes like person that's specialized in doing this and isn't covered in tattoos.
Yeah, right. No, for sure, man. And that's the thing too. Like Lucas's older brother died in Afghanistan.
Yeah, which is another big thing they talk about. The war machine plucking people off the streets, fall through the cracks.
I did like that because you saw the army, like the big ass Humvee with army on the side, and the guys are trying to recruit the poor kids.
I
was like, holy shit, dude! This is like, I mean, I saw that and was immediately like, wow, that's probably the realest thing in here.
Yeah.
The PTSD.
Oh, they'll just grab anybody,
Yeah, man. They
well, there's a big problem with gang activity in the military, like especially like with MS-13 Crips, they take it with them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was that. I thought that was kind of funny that they had that in there. I had a good chuckle at that because of how real that was.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I remember
recruiters will just go in. I remember they showed up to our school.
I was always. I was just thinking about that. Showed up to our school and
come on over. We'll pay for your college,
especially the blue collar area. In case you guys don't know, we're in a blue collar area. Definitely, they bug the shit out of you.
Yep.
And then they hear you're going to college. Oh, why don't you go in the military for a few years here, and then you get paid for.
Yep.
I remember getting a call, not to get off topic, from the Marines being like, hey, do you want to succeed in life? And I said, of course I do. And I'm an 18-year-old. Yeah, I know, right? And they're like, when can we schedule an appointment with you in the Marines? And I was like, never, because I'm going to college. And then he was cool about it. He was like, oh, thanks. But then they just kept calling my house.
There's a quick story. When a Navy recruiter came to our high school. They came to our table after going around, and I was like, "Yeah, I got a quick question. Is there as much gay sex in the Navy as I've heard?" Like I was like, just like totally taken aback. He's like, no. I was like, "Oh, then I'm not interested." And I crumpled up the brochure and threw it at him. And he just like, "This is the bad table." Like he actually cracked up when I.
Oh, wonderful, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, yeah. Army
That's one way to get rid
recruiting.
of Navy recruiters. The rest of them, you gotta.
Yep, you gotta really take it to them. Unbuckle their pants, pull them
bring
down.
up the whole nuts to butts thing.
Yeah. Is it true that when you're out there all alone with your buddies, a hole's
And
a
when
hole
you're
no
two
matter
together-
what?
When you're in that foxhole, you gotta stay together to keep warm. All right, this is
Yeah, now we're getting into
erotic fan
fetish
fiction. Yeah.
Oh man, so all this shit's going on, and of course, for whatever reason, he's leaving to go do it, and then he sees his brother getting jumped in. This fucking 10-year-old
Yeah.
kid getting beaten by
Which
grown
really,
men.
I'm presuming actually does happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, this was after Rincon, that was his name, right?
Yeah, Rincon
Was saying leave his brother alone.
Yeah, he told Jester, he's like, leave
Jester
him alone.
was jealous of him because he was, doing a lot of the running of the business, and he was the only one who spoke to him directly besides Jester. And
Yeah, right. Yeah.
there's this whole subplot. Jester was one of the, the characters were fleshed out, but it was like such an old story that you see over and over again.
It was. And, all the shit's going on. And then the kid decides he's going to take his brother and pretty much run off.
Yeah.
And
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. Just a snap decision like that. After Rincon, gets him a fucking suit and he's like, you're part of the family and I want you to be at the wedding.
And he tells him he has to deliver this gigantic brick of heroin and don't fuck it up.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then he fucks it up.
And then he horrifically fucks it up. Yeah. And all the meanwhile, we've seen very little of JCVD.
I was gonna say, yeah, man. I'm wondering how I feel like I tell Lucas and Miguel's story first, then Van Damme's story, and then meet up where they kind of cross. So Van Damme, on the other hand, he's a mechanic in the area. He's back in the area because he just likes it. It's home or whatnot. to him.
I guess.
And he has a trach.
Yeah,
and,
which is a very, very interesting choice for the character to cast Jean-Claude Van Damme in.
Yeah.
That aspect I enjoyed.
I really did.
Because he did, he's a very expressive person visually.
Mm-hmm.
He gives a lot of great looks. He expresses himself with his hands, with body language.
Yeah, he does, man.
And it worked really well, I felt. He seemed very shy about it. He always kept a bandana around his neck. And he always kept his chin down.
Yeah.
His character was constantly keeping his neck scruffed up.
Yep.
Which I was like, oh, wow, that's actually, it's good acting.
It is, man. And Van Damme, it's tough, man, because I really liked Van Damme in it.
I enjoyed
really liked
watching
Jester.
this. Yeah.
I did enjoy Rincon.
It had a lot of good ingredients.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But
it did.
overall, if it wasn't for Jean-Claude Van Damme, I would have zero interest in this movie.
Yeah.
And it sucks because, I find I loved, Sicario. I loved the whole cartel life and, crazy, Mexican prison gang things. Very interesting. I watched a couple documentaries on MS-13. It's terrifying.
Yeah, man.
It's wild what they do. It's medieval shit.
It is, dude. It's fit. Yeah, man.
Like that one part where it had my interest for a little while. When they drug the guy on the motorcycle.
Yeah,
up to, I was like,
he's fucking quoting Shakespeare.
Yeah, I was like,
shit to him.
That's kind of cool. Which
yeah,
I don't really see an MS-13, local area leader doing something like that. And I was, who knows? Maybe they're a big fan of Pulp Fiction or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was a lot of potential for this.
A lot of,
and it did fall short.
Yes, because you could see what was going to happen 5 minutes into the movie.
Man. Yeah, exactly. And Van Damme, his acting chops in this were fucking great.
Yeah,
man.
You could tell this was it was a kind of role he doesn't, it's very much out of his wheelbox.
Yeah.
It was almost like an acting exercise for him. And that's, watching it, that's how I watched it and that's how I got enjoyment from it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so he's kind of addicted to oxy, and it basically takes away his fucking pain because he has PTSD.
Yeah, and
he was in Afghanistan, and I mean, long story short, he's having these PTSD moments. He sees a kid that's dead, basically, and it's probably because of him.
Which is why he's obsessed with saving these children.
Yeah, yeah, and
which is I thought it was very humanizing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If it had been done better, if the other aspects of the movie had been done better.
Yeah, right.
It would have made for an excellent film.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I was really hyped for this because
it sounds really cool. Like
the bouncer was great.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, he's really getting into this stuff. The like I said, the trailer for We Die Young was awesome. I was like, I'm excited for this. And then we got this, and it's not bad, but it's not the best either. It was just kind of typical,
very lukewarm,
mid 2000s Van Damme film. Right?
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of that.
It's like the hardcore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so we're just kind of like,
where he only spends not that much time in the movie. But when they do spend it with him, it's like he's the main character, which is weird.
Yeah,
when
right.
They already have another main character in that kid who isn't a very good actor.
Yeah. Yeah, and so Van Damme is very nice. He gives one of his friends who's constantly bumming money from him, and he's like, "Hey, my doctor cut my prescription," so he gives him one of his oxys, and he's like, "Hey, I need $5. I'm on this all meat diet."
Yeah,
and vegetarians, they found out on NPR that vegetables can feel. They have feeling. Cabbage knows when you're eating it. So what are they gonna do next? Eat rocks? That was pretty funny, but. Van Damme, the whole trach thing was really cool.
Yeah,
and,
his only lines in the movie were grunts and speaking through his phone.
Yeah. And he got that because of an explosion that happened in Afghanistan. He sees the dead kid and the mother of the child wailing, and then there's an explosion, and it fucking takes out his throat. Basically, he's right in the middle of it, and they have to basically intubate him right there, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And his story with Lucas is Lucas gives him the drugs.
Yep.
And so he gives him money, yada, yada, yada. And so Van Damme's trying to trying to be a little bit more hopeful for the kids. Like Lucas, he gives him a book to read, and he's like, did you read the book? And he's like, oh yeah, it was great. And he gives it back to him. He's like, I don't have time to read it. And he's like, read it. It's funny because even all the people, the older people there, are buying the drugs, buying the pills and stuff from them, and it's crazy, man. I thought that was kind of a cool aspect of it too, because of basically showing how, like you said earlier, basically how the fucking system has failed. My personal, you've been hearing those stories about the EpiPens and the price in EpiPen rising?
Pharma bro,
dude. My personal life, one of the doctors told Ruth to you should get an EpiPen just in case.
Wow.
So we're like, all right, we go. Fucking $300 for an EpiPen. And we're like, are you serious, man? And you're wondering how fucking people can't afford anything.
And you wonder why drug lords are running around like kings.
Yeah, so you're I was going to say, this is exactly, that points us out. I thought that was they could have fleshed that out a little bit more with the reason why all these fucking old people are going to this.
Yeah.
Because their fucking people are in pain and
instead
they
were
can't
just extras.
Yeah, right. And so, a couple of more lines on that way. I don't know if because they were trying to humanize Rincon too with his sister.
Yeah, which I didn't feel that there was much of a point for that.
Yeah, right. If you wanted to do that,
in fact, I think that's counterproductive to humanize a fucking MS-13, gang leader.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
make him, the tragic figure. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't really want to feel sympathy for.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
For people that commit the most horrific acts imaginable against other human beings.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
While giving, they're he's making excuses and talking about his past and his tragic upbringing and how he has to be hard on these people. I'm just like,
yeah, right.
I get it. They didn't, that wasn't exactly the point, but it seemed like almost an apology.
Yeah, it did. You're totally right, man. And all the crazy shit happens. Jester is trying to fuck over Lucas to begin with, and then all hell breaks loose, basically. And so, long story short, we find out that it's actually money. It's not heroin in the
Yep.
bricks. It's money in the bricks.
To be delivered to a prison, a prison lord or a shot caller or whatever, an MS-13 in prison.
Yep. And that guy, Spider, ends up showing up to the house instead. And he's like, hey, where is it? And so then that gets Rincon pretty pissed off and upset. And he's like, it's here. That guy, Spider, tries to actually rape one of the women in the house.
Which was really,
during the wedding. It's a little over exaggerative.
It's it was just so out of left field. I was like, okay, that was just bad writing.
Yeah, because then Rincon comes in, catches him, and he fucking kills him. He beats him to death. And it's just like, oh, okay, how are you not supposed to feel for Rincon then? He beat the shit out of him. He killed a rapist. You're like, yeah, that guy, get him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're like, you've done some pretty terrible shit too.
Yeah, he's murdered several people, throughout the course of this movie. Had them drugged by, motorcycles.
Yeah, man. And so Van Damme's working on a caddy at the shop with one of the other guys, and the guy's like, take it out for a spin to see if it, everything works. And he does, and then the engine cuts out, and he's trying to do it. And all the meanwhile, Lucas and Miguel are being chased. And they jump into the car, and they're like, go. And then we get a chase scene.
Classic. Now it's a Van Damme movie.
Now it's a Van Damme movie, exactly. We get the chase scene.
This is where the movie,
We got the chase scene in the beginning, too.
That's true.
And then we get this, it fleshes out more. And so Van Damme ends up... I gotta say, this is one of the more violent chase scenes that I've seen.
Graphic,
those
realistic.
Yeah,
the violence in this movie, I will say, is realistic, very gritty, gruesome.
Yeah, I give it that. Kind of almost similar to A History of Violence or Eastern Promises.
Yeah,
it's violent in that way. Van Damme ends up slamming the car up against the guys on the dirt
Tokyo
bike.
drifts them into it.
Yeah, dude, and they just smash and they splatter into the wall.
And the dog gets killed.
Yeah, which was the oldest brother's dog.
Yeah, it was a Pomeranian, that. Right?
It was like a huge Pomeranian. Like Pomeranians are kind of smaller, and this thing was a little bit bigger. Man.
They were bred to be smaller.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But the dog gets shot, straight up shot.
Yep. And the
kid's
kid's
freaking out.
Screaming, my leg! And
his leg gets crushed in the car accident.
Yeah.
Although only superficially, apparently. He just got lacerated or something.
Yeah, and so then Van Damme bandages it up, and then we find out, oh, hey, were you in the military? My brother was in the military, blah, blah, blah. Hey, that's happened. Mm-hmm. And then Miguel has just got blood all over him throughout all of this. I mean, this 10-year-old boy is head to toe covered in blood, and no one's batting an eyelash or anything at it.
He went to a school function with covered in blood. Because everybody got jumped in, got his leg cut open, is covered in his dog's blood.
Yeah, man, he's just worse for wear. And all the meanwhile, he's a really good baseball player, apparently.
Yeah, he got that scholarship, right?
Into the baseball camp. So we talked a lot about this movie. I did not think we'd be talking about it this long. Van Damme ends up pretty much. The kids get caught. They get separated from Van Damme because the brother basically tells him, don't tell us what to fucking do, and leaves and smashes Van Damme's phone.
Yeah.
I was like, you son of a bitch, man. He saved your ass.
Yeah, really.
And then Van Damme goes after him after they beat up the shop owner of the place, and the girl love interest that Van Damme kind of had this love interest with was like, don't do it, don't do it for all these people. My ex was into this and blah, blah, blah. And Van Damme's like,
he kind of shrugged, he can't,
can't do much. So, and he goes off after him, and there's two guys that have been giving Van Damme pretty much shit throughout the whole film.
Fucking sprayed beer on him.
And
right.
They call him Chavala the whole time.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, I get called that a lot. No, I don't.
Every time I'm in the neighborhood, usually you're used to a gringo, Usually
I am used to that.
Gringo is one thing, but I do not know what a chavala is. A Calo word Chicano switch code to mean a punk. Used usually to define people who are in a barrio environment.
Oh.
Okay, well, there you go. Chavala. So now we know, and knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe. So Van Damme runs into the two guys. They start to kind of beat him up, and then Van Damme gets the upper hand. He fucking stabs the dude in the inner thigh. Loved it. Then he fucking guts him. Like, he's like, bah, 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 in his stomach, shoots him through the head, takes the other one hostage, and the other one, like, just starts being a big baby. I did love that. He was like, and he's holding him hostage. Van Damme sees the FBI in the car, and he's just kind of like, all right, fuck it. And he just walks past him. The FBI's like, what the fuck is going on? They get out. Then Jester and the guys come out of the house, and everyone's like, oh, what's up, what's up? And then a kid lights off a firework while this wedding's going on. The fireworks explode, and of course that causes the gunfight, and shit happens. Dude. Everything goes to hell after this. Everyone gets fucking shot up, man. Police come in. FBI agent gets shot up. Yeah, dude. Police get shot up. All the bad guys get shot up. Van Damme gets shot. The kids are like sitting there, so like they
Rincon's disabled sister gets shot.
Yes, she gets shot. Yeah, I forgot to mention she's disabled too.
Yeah, she's walking on a arm brace.
Yeah,
or
the
something.
arm braces.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. And so he's really pissed off, and so finally the kids and Van Damme get out of there. They're by
After
the train
a pretty
tracks.
lengthy.
That was
probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed it.
That was awesome. And then somehow, some way, Jester finds him, and then Rincon finds him. And he's like, "My sister Gabriella, like you, why, man, why?" He's like, "I was good to you and stuff." And Lucas is just still being
stone face staring.
Yeah. And Jester's like about to kill him, and then Rincon's like, "Fucking go! I don't ever want to see you here again."
Which I thought was really. I mean, they're supposed to humanize him even more. But I was like,
yeah.
I don't know, just kind of stretching the premise of plausibility. At that point.
And then, Jester's like, "What do you do? You're my cousin." And he's like, "I love you, blah, blah." And then fucking kills him.
Yeah, just shoots him.
And so Jester's...
I just wanted to be next in line,
Yeah, yep. And then Jester's about to fucking kill Van Damme. He's like, "Hand over the brick." And Van Damme does it. And it's like empty. And he's about to kill him. And then guess who saves the day? Gordito.
Yeah, why?
He comes out of nowhere. After he... I forgot to mention, while the kids, Lucas and Miguel, he betrayed him.
Kids.
He's like,
so
"Sorry,
why did
bro."
Is it because he saw him kill Rincon?
Maybe,
or?
yeah. And so he fucking killed
I don't
Jester.
know.
And now he's the head of MS-13.
The head of the barrio, yeah. I mean, I could see what they were going for. They were going for this big Shakespearean, dramatic moment.
Yeah, it was.
You could tell the person was big into Shakespeare.
Yeah,
they
man.
had a character that quoted Shakespeare.
Yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
I really think, the note fell flat.
Yeah. Van Damme's just like staring. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And
that's the only thing he can do. He can't talk.
Yeah, I know. The kids get on the train, which that made me laugh a lot because the brothers covered head to toe in blood.
Yeah.
How the fuck was like the train conductor? "Oh, okay, you get a ticket, man. Come on board, guys." And then they find
maybe
the money.
he handed them $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, they didn't find the money yet.
Yeah, no, they didn't. And
he didn't notice there was,
a
5 pounds of money
exactly.
in his jacket.
Yeah. Notices it and they take it.
And when he tossed the jacket, it didn't look like it had a gigantic brick of money.
Yeah,
in it.
right. No. And basically they run out. They ride off in the sunset.
Become very rich and form their own barrio where they commit more heinous crimes while apologizing for it.
And they called it Goodfellas. No, we have a shot of the outside of DC, and then it ends. And then in the credits, the kid takes a terrible swing, and we hear like a fake like, and they're like, yeah, and his brother's cheering for him on the same baseball team, and then it totally ends. So that was the end of We Die Young. Not the best, not the worst. It had a lot of good stuff to it. I was really disappointed, man.
Yeah.
And so like,
I was hoping for more Jean-Claude.
Yeah, I was hoping for more just in general.
Yeah.
Van Damme did a terrific job. Jester, I think, did a terrific job.
Yeah.
Rincon did a pretty good job too. I don't know.
I don't like child actors in the first place.
Yeah, it's really
I feel
tough.
like child actors in Jean-Claude Van Damme movies don't have a good track record in general.
Yeah, pretty much so. And I would say on a split scale, it's kind of tough. I'm going between 6.5 or 7.
Yeah.
It was not terrible. I really, really liked Van Damme in this.
Yeah.
Like
his
I really
performance
liked
was
his
excellent.
performance. And It was the kids just kind of threw me off. Lucas really kind of threw me off.
Yeah, I didn't care for
the writing wasn't the best.
No, it was very paint by numbers.
It was. And I bought it. I bought this film. So
yeah, I spent $13.
I supported him.
But it supports Jean-Claude Van Damme, so I have no regrets.
Exactly.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No egrets.
So what would you rate it?
Well, I wouldn't say it was a boring movie. I guess I would say it was a boring movie, actually.
It was such how weird, man. How like this
tale of death
drama.
and woe.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yep.
It definitely felt the whole hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, the message I felt was ham-fisted.
Yeah, man.
They really beat you over the head with it. Like, the government failed us, failed everyone in this movie.
Yeah.
There was no character that hasn't been screwed over by the government, which I can understand that kind of sentiment.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, if I were, I don't know, I'm not a member of any group that's been disenfranchised by the government, so maybe I'm being really callous.
Oh, man.
Because I'm not a veteran. I'm not, an immigrant. I'm several generations off the boat.
Yeah.
But so
you haven't had, you're not in the medical sphere of things.
That's
either,
true too.
So.
I'm healthy. I'm a healthy white male, doing great. Got health insurance.
So this film
Things
definitely was not for you.
With that in mind, though,
white bread America.
Yeah, this fucking wasp shitting on this movie,
yeah.
But
I'm Wonder Bread.
But with that all being taken into account, I think that the plot of it was very, I've been there, done that, seen it so many times.
Yeah, man.
Nothing new is brought to the table besides a really interesting acting exercise by Jean-Claude Van Damme, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yes. Yeah.
So for that, I would give it 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking maybe I need to watch it again, but something tells me I think I'm
like
okay.
Yeah, I'm all set.
There was only one piece of trivia for this. David Castellaneta and Elijah Rodriguez previously appeared together in Sicario, Day of the Soldado.
Oh, holy shit.
Cartel members.
I didn't even notice. That movie, it was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the first one.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, have you seen the first one?
I can't recall.
I love that movie to death. It's also horrifically, they definitely don't paint things in a positive light.
Yeah, right.
But it's done really well. It's so,
Yeah. So there we have it. Yeah, that's it. That's We Die Young. That's our review.
Mm-hmm.
Very spoilery. Sorry. But, I mean,
have we done a non-spoiler review?
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I don't think we've never not.
Most of the time,
one,
their movies are 10 plus years old.
I was going to say all the movies are old, besides like these only 3 new ones that we did, and for now, as we're recording, there's no big announcements of Van Damme doing anything else for the rest of 2019.
Probably gonna have to wait another year. So more 6 Degrees and
yeah, and that's
possibly more. Most definitely more Patreon content.
Oh yeah,
Patreons.
Yeah, we're gonna patrons. Yeah, our patrons. We're gonna do some more of that stuff, and yeah, gosh, I'm looking at they've taken off all the other stuff with that Van Damme announced.
Oh, what was the name of that one? Like
Lionheart 2.
Oh no.
And
Pure Love or whatever.
Oh God, the 5 different names.
Yeah.
Frenchie and Gold Eagle.
I can't wait to see that.
I know, man. I hope it comes. If we interview him, I'm gonna ask him about that. I'm gonna be like, when do we get to see this?
Fuck yeah!
Like, can we have a special sneak peek of this, please?
What if he does the splits and kicks us both in the throat?
Oh well, fucking then we'll talk in our trachs on our phones and still do Damncast.
Ha ha ha! That was a good one.
Thank
JCVD.
you, JC. Thank you so much. Yeah, we still need to do an interview episode, like him doing interviews, and we just review the interviews.
Fun.
So we're gonna do that, and yeah, a few more 6 Degrees. Jeff came up with a really good idea off air of kind of taking some of these. Like they'll still be a part of like the 6 Degrees realm of things, but they're gonna be kind of for actors that don't necessarily have enough films for us to review that we think would be kind of fun. So, like, you know, we might do a couple more Matthias Hughes films.
I love Matthias.
We might do maybe some Billy Blanks. I don't know. We'll see. Bolo, definitely Bolo Young.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And
He's got plenty of movies.
yeah, man. So we'll have a few more of those, and then who knows what we're going to do. I'm really considering actually contacting Van Damme's rep, aka his mom, because that's like who it is.
Really?
Apparently.
Man,
Yeah,
he's so great.
he is, man.
Really, you know, such a family man.
And seeing if we can somehow, some way, not shit on We Die Young in front of him. Like, we really love
You
your
were
role.
great.
You were great.
The rest of it,
Right?
you just
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What happened? No, it'd be awesome. So
Yeah, well, the worst he can do is say
yeah,
no.
exactly. He's gonna say no. Okay.
Or just not respond at all.
Yeah, I know. Right? The worst is they don't respond, and I mean that's the worst is we get a cease and desist letter saying shut down, stop. But no, we definitely
It would be an honor.
Yeah, I know, right? I'd frame it, put it up in the studio. Hey, we had this really good idea. Anyway, we've dragged this on way long enough. Thank you all for listening so much. Keep up with us. Like I said, be on the lookout for Rage in a Cage and Every Day I'm Rustling dropping soon. I don't know how soon it's going to drop. I'll let you know when it does, though. But we're still continuing this on. We're still going to do a few 6 Degrees films and stuff. And then we'll put it on hold until something else happens. So all that being said, I am John.
And I am Jeff.
You've been listening to another episode of the Jean Pod Van Damme Cast. Jeff, what did I tell you? You're not being jumped into this gang.